Have you ever felt like you're in a constant battle with your own body when it comes to your health? Well, what if I told you the fight? It isn't with your body at all. It's actually with the old software, the programming that's running in your unconscious mind. Because today, we're going to look at how you can get access to that software and rewrite it for good. First things first, let's talk about the words we use, because they frame everything. If you're always thinking about weight loss, you're kind of setting yourself up to go searching for something you've, lost. It's a really subtle shift, but it's incredibly powerful. So let's just reframe this right now. This isn't about loss, it's about management. See, weight management is an ongoing discipline, a skill you build for a lifetime of health. Changing your perspective from a temporary fix to a permanent skill, that is the absolute foundation for any change that's going to last. So here's our game plan. We're going to break down how to build this new mindset. We'll look at the core idea, the 4 key strategies for change, how to know if you're really ready for it, and then how it all comes together to redesign your own unconscious programming. Okay, so how do we actually install this new mindset? Well, this is where hypnosis comes into the picture. And look, this is not about stage tricks or making you cluck like a chicken. It's a precision tool for getting in there and upgrading your own internal software. I want you to think of your unconscious mind like the main control room for all your automatic behaviors. Everything from breathing to automatically reaching for a bag of chips. Hypnosis lets us kind of bypass the security guard at the front door. That's your conscious mind. So we can talk directly to the operator in that control room. And that security guard, it actually has a name. It's called the critical faculty. It's that part of you, that little voice that analyzes and doubts and says, "Oh, I've tried that before, it won't work." Hypnosis is designed to gently quiet that inner critic, to make it open to new, powerful, and way more positive suggestions for change. So, once we get access to that control room, what do we actually do? Well, the work focuses on 4 specific areas. This isn't just throwing random ideas at the wall. It's a very targeted 4-point strategy for real comprehensive change. We're going to target your metabolism, rewrite those limiting beliefs, recode your response to cravings, and finally, build up your self-esteem, which honestly is often the bedrock of the whole thing. Each one builds on the last, so let's jump in with the first key, metabolism. Your metabolic rate, that's largely an unconscious process, right? But it can be influenced. Through powerful metaphors, like imagining a control dial on your body's fat-burning furnace, we can suggest that you turn it up to its perfect, healthy, and most appropriate level. We're suggesting a more optimal way for your body to run. Next up, we have to go after those mental roadblocks. You know the ones, beliefs like, "I just can't lose weight," or "it's in my genes." Those are incredibly disempowering. Using hypnosis, we can challenge those beliefs head-on and install new, much more empowering ones that open up possibilities instead of shutting them down. Now, what's really cool about this is the power of an identity-level suggestion. We're not just suggesting a new behavior, we're suggesting a whole new identity. This simple phrase, "you are a person who chooses health," reframes absolutely everything. It's not something you have to do, it's just who you are. Okay, this one is a biggie. Cravings. They feel like a battle of willpower, don't they? But that's a fight you're probably going to lose eventually. So the hypnotic approach doesn't fight the craving at all. It recodes the automatic response at the source, so the craving either gets a lot weaker or maybe doesn't even show up in the first place. And here's a brilliant example of how. We can work with the unconscious mind to link junk foods with something totally repulsive. I'm talking slime, spiders, you name it. And at the same time, we amplify the appeal of healthy foods, making their colors brighter, their imagined taste more delicious, their textures more incredible. And finally, this might be the most important of all, self-esteem. So often, issues with weight are deeply tied to feelings of self-worth. By installing suggestions that you are an excellent person, that you have a fundamental right to be healthy and happy, we build this solid foundation that makes all the other changes stick. Now, all of these tools, they're incredibly powerful, but there is one critical piece that has to come from you, and that's readiness. For any major change to become permanent, a person has to be at threshold. So what's threshold? It's that point of no return. It's not "I'd like to change" or "I really should change." No, it's an absolute 100% commitment. It's the decision that this change is happening, period. Without that, even the best techniques in the world can fall flat. So how do you know if you're there? Well, you'll feel it through 3 really powerful internal statements. First, something must change. It's just not optional anymore. Second, it has to be now. The time for procrastination is over. And third, it has to be me. You stop waiting for a magic pill and you take total, complete ownership. When you combine a person who is at that threshold with these powerful hypnotic techniques, well, you get a formula for some really profound and lasting change. Let's take a quick look at why this is so effective on a deeper psychological level. This is a model called the logical levels of change, and it shows exactly why this approach works. Just look at the table. Trying to force change at the bottom level, behavior, like just making yourself choose different food, is the absolute hardest way to do it. It's so much more effective to make the change higher up the ladder, at the level of identity. When you truly shift from believing I am overweight to knowing I am a healthy person, the right behaviors just start to follow naturally. And really, that's the whole point. We're not just trying to install a new habit. We're redesigning the deep, unconscious processes that run your life. Healthy choices stop being a chore, and they just become an automatic, integrated part of your identity, of who you are. So I'll leave you with this final thought. We spend so much time and energy focusing on diets and exercise, right? The physical stuff. But what if the most powerful lever for change, the real control room, isn't in your stomach or at the gym, but has just been waiting for new instructions, right there in your unconscious mind?